Today's meal will focus on a homemade tomato sauce that pairs perfectly with Zoodles. The Zoodles will be soft but have an al dente or to the tooth crunch to them. Zoodles or zucchini noodles are an excellent low-carb replacement to pasta. Zucchinis are summer squash and can be gold color or striped, which are often called marrow. Zucchinis can be cooked in a myriad of methods, including frying, baking, and braising. Enjoy today's journey into the power of Zoodles. I just love saying that. Zoodles, Zoodles, Zoodles. Here are the ingredients, and of course the recipe will be listed below in the description. We have 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 1 onion that I will finely chop, 5 cloves of garlic that I will mince, salt that's not pictured, a 6-ounce can of tomato paste, a 1/4 cup of wine extra for the cook as required, 2 28-ounce cans of whole peeled Italian tomatoes, only 1 can shown, fresh basil, a teaspoon each of Italian seasoning, onion powder, garlic powder, salt and ground pepper, which were not shown, 2 medium-sized zucchinis or 3 small zucchinis, 2 tablespoons of salt for the zucchinis, which are not shown, and your favorite Italian cheeses to be sprinkled on at the end. Okay, for the tomatoes, I love a San Marziano tomato, which is a product of Italy. It's packed in a tomato liquid, which is quite yummy. So what I like to do is pour the can into a shredder. Oh! I like to shake this to get some of the juice out. And here's the fun part, and here's where the kids can help, and I definitely would recommend wearing an apron of some sort. But you want to squish them with your hands, and they will squirt everywhere and make a mess. And that's the fun of doing this. They'll go everywhere, as you can see. But just go ahead and squish them. Yummy. It's a little slimy, so it takes a little getting used to. But just use your hands. You could put them in a blender, but it ruins the experience. And that one has a leaf in it. Let's get rid of that. And just squish them. There's another leaf. Let's get rid of that. And then do the same thing with the second can. Shake it to get the liquid through. And, oh, yummy. And then squish them until they're all a fine amount of tomatoes in there and they're not whole any longer. And then we'll go ahead and add them into our sauce. So just keep working these until they're completely done. I turned my pot onto medium and let it warm up for a minute or two, and then I'll add in my 2 tablespoons of olive oil and let that heat up, and then I will add the onions. The oil's heated up for about 3 or 4 minutes, and I'm going to go ahead and add the onions. And you can hear the nice sizzle that it makes. And I will go ahead and stir them around and let them cook about 3 to 5 minutes until translucent. The onion has been cooked and is quite translucent. I will go ahead and add in the fresh minced garlic. Give it a quick stir and let that cook for just a minute or two. We don't want to burn it. Burnt garlic gets quite bitter, and that's not the flavor we are after. Okay, the garlic's been in there for a minute. Oh, smells wonderful. Now my super secret is a can of tomato paste. Now when you put it in, get that off there, you let it cook and it'll turn a dark mahogany. So go ahead and mix it in, let it cook. It's pretty dark now, but wait until you cook it a little while longer, about 3 to 5 minutes, and it'll get really dark and really flavorful. And that's when the magic happens. We'll then add our wine, and the alcohol-soluble elements within the tomato paste will really shine. So keep stirring this. Don't let it just sit there for 5 minutes or it'll burn. You don't want to burn it. So just keep stirring it, and we'll be right back. As you can see, the mixture has darkened. So we'll add our white wine. We'll stir it up and keep cooking until the wine has reduced by at least half. That'll take 4 minutes. Okay, we have reduced the liquid, the wine and tomato paste. Oh, it just smells awesome. And now it is time to add our crushed tomatoes that we crushed by hand and their juice and sauce. Let's put it in. Be careful. It's wet and messy. Oh, it's so good too. That is really good. Let's add that in. Give that a nice stir. Oh, that's what good tomato sauce looks like. Oh my. Look at that. Now's the time to go ahead and add in the basil. I like to throw it in with the stalks and just all of the leaves. And then I add that rest of this seasoning mixture. Put that in. Stir it up really well. Oh man, that is looking and smelling good. Now, I'm going to allow it to do its thing. Go ahead and lid it up and let it simmer for 2 to 4 hours. If you're doing this in a slow cooker, do it 6 hours on low. Oh, and it'll be so good when it's done. Just stir it every now and then, every hour or two, just to make sure everything gets incorporated. Okay, zucchinis, which are also called marrow in Australia and other English-speaking countries outside of the United States, are excellent low-carb replacements for pasta. So what we're going to do to make our zoodles is we're going to cut off the ends so they're flat and straight. Get those out of the way. And then we'll pull out our zoodle machine. To make our zoodles, I bought a special tool. It's quite inexpensive. It's a veggetti. Believe it or not, that's the name of the tool. They sell them online at Walmart, at cooking stores, but they have a thick cutting end and a thin cutting end. We're going to use the thick end today, and it even comes with a special lid that pulls off so that you can hold whatever vegetables you're going to have and then start turning. For today's zoodles, we're going to use the thick end marked on the tool, and you just stick it in and twist it. And as you can see, they come out. They come in nice little ribbons. There's no need to peel the zucchini unless you really don't want that skin on there. But as you can see, most of the zoodles are without the skin. And just keep on turning. And when you get near the end, that's what this little cap and tool is. It helps turn them so you don't go ahead and get hurt and put your fingers in there. And you just keep turning until you're all the way done. Just pull that out. And sometimes you get lucky and get a little twisty curl. That's my favorite parts, but you go ahead and eat that just as everything else. And when you're done and you pull out this little end cap, you don't need that, so we'll just go ahead and dispose of that. Then we'll add 2 tablespoons of salt and just sprinkle on top. Shake it up a little bit. Oops, keep it in the pot. And then we'll let this sit for 30 minutes. And what it's going to do is pull out the moisture. And that's why we have the bowl underneath the strainer, so that it will catch the liquid. As you can see, the moisture is dripping from the strainer holding the zucchini. That less moisture content will make the zucchini cook up to an al dente feeling when you bite into it. Okay, the zoodles have been sitting for 30 minutes. You can see they're a little sticky, a little fun, but when you pull them away, you can see how much liquid's in the bowl. So next we're going to go ahead and wash them out in water so that the salt comes off them and they're ready to keep on cooking. The zoodles have been washed and drained, and now we'll go ahead and add them to the sauce. So let's pull the lid off. Oh, look at that sauce. It's bubbling nicely, simmering, it's reducing, full of flavor. So let's go ahead and add our zoodles. Stir them in and just let them cook for about 5 minutes in the sauce. That's all it takes. It'll be tasty, al dente, flavorful, and it'll be just like pasta, but without all that carbs. There we go. Mix them up. Let them set for about 5 minutes. The zoodles have been cooked and it's time to plate up. I have my bento container and I put my zoodles in. Get them all in there. Maybe just a little bit more. Yeah, it's a big old long noodle there. Okay, and now we'll add the cheese. Let's add a little cheese to the zoodles. Again, this is shredded mozzarella. You can use any kind of cheese you like. Parmigiano, Reggiano, any type really. I said I like some mozzarella. And then we will also add a little bit of chicken parm and then some sauce. Now I don't like to add too much sauce under or on the chicken parm because then it makes it a little soggy and you lose the fun flavor of the crunch of that breading. Now the chicken parm, I have a video of that and I'll link that in the description below. It's a wonderful recipe and a lot of fun to make. Here is the completed meal with zoodles swimming in a rich homemade tomato sauce alongside a crispy chicken parm. The parm video is in the description below. We simmered the sauce for 4 hours before introducing the zoodles, which are cooked al dente. Remember, we made the sauce with robust flavors by cooking the tomato paste until it turned a mahogany color. Then deglaze the pot with white wine. Please like and subscribe. Leave a comment about the first time you experienced zoodles. Check out my new blog, bentobrock.com. The address is in the comment field below. Thanks for watching and always smile and bento. Here are the ingredients and the entire recipe. Come on. To make our zoodles, we have a special tool. This one I purchased. It's quite inexpensive. You can see the what? The what? Remember, we made the sauce with robust flavors by cooking the tomato paste until it turned a mahogany color. Then deglaze the pot with white wine. That's how, when we cook the zucchini, it'll keep an al dente flavoring. Not a flavor. Here is the completed meal with zoodles swimming in a rich tomato. Oh, God, again.